Hey there, Blip here, and today for you guys I'm going to be showing you how to use the Soul Igniter trinket. Now I've made two videos on the Soul Igniter in the past, one on speculating how it was potentially going to be the best trinket for Fire Mage, and another one after they ninja nerfed the trinket and kind of showing you why I thought the way it was going to be used. Now the reason I'm making this third video is simply because I feel like the other videos are kind of misleading now, and I really just want to set things straight with this trinket, show you how to use it optimally as a Fire Mage, and I'm going to show you a macro you can use as well to make using it a lot easier for you. So if you haven't watched any of my videos on the Soul Igniter yet, don't worry, I'm going to cover everything here and give you all the information you need to know about this trinket. So to start with, the Soul Igniter is one of the best trinkets for Fire Mage because simply it has a 1 minute cooldown and you can line up with your Combustion perfectly. It also has the very special use where you can actually use it very shortly after your other trinket. Whether that's any other unused trinket, it doesn't matter if it's the badge, but the badge is what most mages have. You can then use your Soul Igniter after it. So for example, use this and use the Soul Igniter. Because the Soul Igniter has two parts to it. The first part is going to put a buff on you that starts ticking and taking health from you. And then eventually, once it's done a certain amount of damage to you and the timer is expired, you can then activate it again or let it expire to do damage split between all targets. But that's why this trinket is so special, because you can pair it with the Fire Mage Infernal Cascade conduit, which is going to increase the damage of the trinket, and you're also able to pair it with your legendary, the 15% more crit damage which you'll have in your Combustion, which makes this trinket very strong. Now, the reason you always want to use this trinket in your Combustion is because if you use this trinket when your other trinket is close to coming off cooldown, again, as I said earlier, this trinket is very special, and instead of putting your other trinket on a 20-second cooldown like most trinkets should, it'll put your trinket on a 30-second cooldown for some reason. That's why if you just always let the buff expire, it's going to desync with your Combustion timer, and then also you have to factor in the fact that, you know, there's a brief window where you can't use it, because if you do use it, what's going to end up happening is you're going to put your trinket on cooldown, your other unuse before your Combustion comes up, which is going to complicate things and make you lose a lot of damage. So the way you play with this trinket now is you simply cancel it during your Combustion without 3-4 seconds in. That way you're always going to have it up for your next Combustion, and you're going to be able to get some damage amp on it, but also making sure you can use it pretty much on cooldown. So I'll show you this in action right now. We're going to combust here. This is not going to be a good combustion, but as you can see, my Soul Igniter was used because I have a macro for my Combustion. Then I'm going to press the button again and cancel it. Now, don't worry about my damage or anything. I'm not showing you this just to do like optimal damage. This is just to show you how to use the trinket. So now by doing this, if I was just to keep casting fireballs on this target, I will have this trinket up again about 4 seconds into my next Combustion. When this trinket comes up again, I'm going to use it and cancel it instantly, because if I keep pushing it back by 4 seconds every time, it's obviously going to not line up with my Combustion anymore. So you want to keep cancelling it fairly early in your Combustion. Just make sure you have 2 of your Infernal Cascades up before you do that. Now this trinket is a bit like weird. As I said, it's a very special trinket. It works completely different to other trinkets for some reason after they did that ninja nerf to it I mentioned earlier, and as a result sometimes you actually cannot use this trinket again in your Combustion. It's a really weird bug that I'm sure if you've played with this trinket for a while now, you've kind of figured out, like, why is this not working? So to fix this problem, you need to simply make a macro for it. So here I have a macro where show tooltip is going to show the name of the ability here, the Soul Igniter. So when I hover over it, you can see the tooltip of the trinket. Now also, if you go here, you can see I have a cancelaura. Now this is for the buff you get. If you see here, when I press it the first time, what's going to happen is I'm going to get the buff, the Soul Ignition buff. And the reason I have this in front of this is because I don't want to put it behind, because if I put it behind, what's going to happen is I'm going to use my Soul Igniter and then it's going to cancel the aura instantly, which I don't always want. So by doing it this way, by tapping it a second time, it will guarantee to cancel the aura, which is going to make sure I'm not missing out on the damage. And that's very important. I feel like if you're playing with the Soul Igniter, you have to have this, because not being able to cancel it and missing out on having up for your next Combustion is going to make you lose so much damage. I cannot even I cannot overstate that. So make sure you get this macro set up. I'll also put it in the description if you're too lazy for that and just want to copy it and paste it straight into your macro book. And yeah, that's basically the optimal way to play with Soul Igniter right now. It's just to always use it with your Combustion and cancel it 3 to 4 seconds in on your Combustion. Make sure you don't keep pushing it back, because sure, while it does gain damage over time the longer you put it up, You could consistently get lucky on your combustion crits and have your combustion on exactly 1 minute cooldown, which means eventually this won't line up anymore. So again, I'm just going to show you this in action. I have this trinket bound to my combustion because I like having my trinkets bound to my combustion. And as you can see, I will show you in here quickly, my combustion macro, I have my racial bound to this as well. And I'm going to use my PvP badge first and then my soul igniter. But when it comes to macros, having it in the set order you want things to activate always works well. So my trinket will always be used before my soul igniter, so when I press combustion I don't have to worry about using it again, and when I want to cancel the buff I just press R, which is my trinket for soul igniter. You'll have it different of course. So again, for one last time I'm just going to show you this in action. Again, this isn't going to be a good combustion, I just want to show you how I use this. And I'm just going to cancel it. Now I'm just going to do my combustion as per normal. So as you can see, there's a 6-second delay roughly between these two trinkets, and that's fine. I'm just going to be sure to use this on cooldown now to make sure I don't accidentally push it out of cooldown with my combustion timer. So trinket's going to come up mid-combustion. I'm just going to tap it and use it instantly, because I don't want to wait, because if I keep waiting, eventually when I get to like my 3rd, 4th combustion, it's not going to line up anymore. Yeah, that's simply how you use Soul Igniter now. If you get one as a Fire Mage, it's still a very good trinket, by the way. It's one of your best trinkets, so if you do get one, don't feel bad about it. It's a very good trinket to have, and you just have to play with it how I've showed you here. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I know that I've made a lot of Soul Igniter videos, but this should be the final one. I won't be making any more videos on this, and yeah, I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.